What to do, everybody? iWearEars here, and you are watching Games, or like they say in the funny pages, G to the 3. It's Thursday morning, which means yesterday comics have been released, so get your favorite cereal ready, because now it's time to break down the books. But first, the places you can find me. If you're on Xbox, you can go ahead and add me. My gamer tag is going to be iWearEars, just like the channel, minus the games. But on Facebook and Twitter, you're going to go ahead and keep the games and find me at iWearEars Games. And also at facebook.com/iWearEarsGames. And lastly, if you're more of a visual person and you just like looking at stuff, you can go ahead and check out my Instagram. All of those pictures are there. That's going to be instagram.com/iWearEars. Now, you don't need an account to check out the pictures, just an account to comment and follow me as well. Be sure to subscribe, because every Thursday we do this. We have comics and cereal, as well as Thursdays are Grand Theft Thursdays as well. So we have a great new Grand Theft Auto video every Thursday. They're really great since Grand Theft Auto 5 has just been released. The game is amazing, so be sure to subscribe for that, and also the rest of the Let's Play series that I do. One of the books that I have that came out today was going to be Batman 66. Now, that book is based off of the original Batman series from the 1960s, and the one with Adam West and Burt Ward, classic television. Now, they've taken the characters and put them in new scenarios, so they aren't recreations of the episodes, but they definitely are similar. They definitely have the narrator, so they have all the alliterations and all that good stuff. One of the pros of this issue, it was actually going to be issue 3, which I'm giving a rating of an 8. A good pro of the issue was that it includes more current characters in the 1966 setting. So in this issue, it actually had Harley Quinn in it. She wasn't in her usual jester outfit. It was more of a retro 60s dress, because she was actually the psychiatrist. It's also interesting to see Batman in his interactions with the Rogues Gallery, because it isn't always head bashing and skull crushing. There's actual, I don't want to say a friendship, but they don't totally despise each other while they're face to face. A con of the story, though, is that in the back of the issue there is a smaller story. It seemed really rushed. They tried to fit so much into just a couple of pages, so you didn't really get to enjoy it because everything moved so quickly. The character that they introduced was Egghead, and it seemed like the story was just put in the back of the book just to introduce some obscure character. Moving on, I also picked up Clayface, which is part of Villains Month right now in DC. The villains have taken over since some major events have happened due to the Trinity War. So following those events, Forever Evil has taken place, which is a comic book event, 6 issues, I think. And because of that, each villain from each of the series in DC get their own issue. So there's, I think 52 issues, I want to say. So many issues. And not only are there issues galore, but each cover, it also has the 3D cover. So it can come in like a 2D print, or also cool 3D. It's very nice. It's very good quality. But moving on back to Clayface, I rated it at an 8.5. The story started right from the get-go, so it was definitely packed a punch right from the beginning. A good pro to the story was that the reader got to see different sides of Clayface. So like they got to see like the brute muscle of him, the criminal mind, and also how he's a schemer. A couple other sides without giving it away, but it was definitely, he was dynamic to the core. It was definitely a solid issue. Another issue that I got was going to be the Ra's al Ghul issue, which actually, he comes from the Batman and Robin issues. That's the villain who took over from there. So a good pro for the issue is that I got insight into the character. I don't really know too much about him other than the fact that he is Talia's father. He definitely knows who Bruce Wayne is and Batman. It definitely showed and gave a little insight of why he treated Batman the way he treated him. It was a good look. The story was definitely it had flashes of time, and the flashes were so quick you didn't really have time to invest yourself in it, so it just kind of seemed pointless and just could have been done in dialogue, and that would have saved up pages for more of the actual story. Left a little bit confused about Talia, because they do bring her up towards the end of the issue, but since I really didn't know too much about Ra's al Ghul and Talia, I was a little confused since there was no explanation at some point, but it didn't leave you totally wondering what the issue was about. Moving on, I got Shadow Thief. Not too familiar with Shadow Thief. I'm pretty sure she is a new character, since it is part of the Justice League of America series that she took over. I have been reading that since issue 1. By the way, all of these issues are going to be from New 52 on, not any of the older stuff. So far, Justice League of America, she has not shown up. So it was cool that a new character was introduced. The way the story was presented was definitely interesting, but a con to the whole story was that the character really came out of nowhere, and she didn't really leave a big enough impression for me to want to see her again. So I don't know if that's going to be the end of it, but maybe we will definitely see Shadow Thief again. Dial H. What the hell was this issue? I gave this issue a whopping 4, just because they tried. The art was crazy and just definitely not my taste and all over the place and just a cluster mess, but it definitely was executed in the way it was meant to be. I just was not looking for that kind of stuff, I guess. Never again, though. That issue made no sense. The cover, usually the covers have a little bit of a tie-in to the actual issue. That cover had nothing to do, I felt, with the issue. And then after that, I picked up Scarecrow. I gave that a score of an 8. It did have a slow start to the issue, but they did introduce multiple rogues from the Rogues Gallery in the issue. I felt that carried the issue and not Scarecrow, which was a little sad considering it was his spotlight. But Scarecrow is still Scarecrow. He's just always the same, always just trying to look to get scared or scare people. But on the other hand, I picked up Penguin, which was very surprising. I gave that 8 actual 9. It referenced issues where they needed to be referenced and in relevant places, so it was definitely a good balance. Except for I wanted to know a little bit more about Penguin and his posse. They did introduce a couple henchmen and goons and a girl that worked for him, a woman, but I wanted to know a little bit more. Except for Penguin was really intense, and he is back after losing it all. If you've been paying attention to the back issues of Dark Knight, you can see how Penguin has had a little bit of a rough patch lately, so it's good to see he's back on his flippers. And lastly, we have Bounce. I'm not too sure if anybody has actually heard of this. It's kind of a surprise series. Came out of nowhere, really. It's about this guy. He's a stoner with superpowers. He actually can bounce around. So the series is actually surprisingly good. The flow of the story wasn't too steady, and it didn't really stack up to the rest of the issues, but definitely a good issue to keep the story moving forward because it is a good series. But we have reached the end of comics and serial. Be sure to check out the next breakdown coming next week. If you've enjoyed this week's books as much as I have, go ahead and check out my pull list so you can follow along. You can head over to facebook.com/iWearEars, and it's going to be there, so you can go ahead and look at all those books. I actually have quite a long list, so I'm sure there's going to be something for everybody to check out. Please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to these videos. I do have other Let's Play series. It's not just me talking about comic books all the time. This is just once a week, so if you do like this, if you want to go ahead and check out my Let's Plays, please go ahead. Again, I'm iWearEars, and this has been G to the 3. We'll see you later. Bye!